Hi, I'm Mitch Feigenberg, co-founder of Parents First, the first online provider of brain-based experiential learning programs that are focused entirely on improving parents' lives. Parents First is dedicated to strengthening you as an individual, a parent, and a family member. In our last video, we shared about the hero's journey, a way of looking at the challenges and the discoveries that are available in this wonderful thing we call parenthood. So I thought I would share with you my own journey of parenthood. I was married in 1980, and around 1983, my wife and I started getting ready to have a baby. And we had been on assignment. I was with the State Department at the time. We had been living in Jamaica. And we returned from Jamaica and signed up for a great medical plan that would allow us to, would cover everything related to her pregnancy and the delivery of the baby and so on. But ironically, the first thing we used that insurance for was an emergency hysterectomy for my wife. So this was a terrible emotional challenge for both of us, physical for her. When we first went to the hospital, I honestly didn't know if she was going to live. It was a scary time. And needless to say, at such a young age, to go through such a traumatic experience and surgery was a challenge for both of us. It was a challenge for my wife with her physical and emotional health. It was a challenge for me in supporting her. And of course, we both had to look again at how would we create the family that we wanted. Later on, we were living in California, and it was around 1987 when we decided it's time to adopt a child. And we located a birth mother, and that's how adoption is done in California, private adoption. And we started to form a bond with her, and the three of us agreed that we would be great parents for her child. So on June 19th, June 18th is my mother's birthday, June 19th of 1988, Alicia was born. And we were in the delivery room when the birth mother gave birth to our girl. And at the moment she popped out, our birth mother looked at me and said, "Happy Father's Day." It was a Sunday. I didn't even know it was Father's Day. I was so excited about having a child and holding her for the first time that it hadn't even occurred to me what day it was. The first few months went as the first few months go for most parents. Sleepless nights, worrying, is this normal? Calling the doctor to see if she doesn't eat enough or she's crying too much or whatever kinds of concerns. But around 4 months after she was born, we noticed that in the roof of her mouth, there was a little white object that was coming out through the roof of her mouth. And it got bigger, and it was very hard, and we started to worry, so we went to our doctor and were referred to a pediatric oral surgeon, and eventually the little tooth bud that was coming out of the roof of her mouth was removed, and along with it, a lesion that was diagnosed as histiocytosis. Now, this is a condition that can affect the growth of bones and in some cases can be fatal. And we were very upset and worried. Luckily, we were living in Los Angeles at the time, right near UCLA, where one of the world's experts in this condition was practicing. So we went to the pediatric oncology people, and it was a challenge, needless to say, to see little children with bald heads, and taking our daughter in there and having her have various kinds of blood tests, and not just being an infant, not knowing anything of what was going on. It was heartbreaking for us. In the course of all that, we reached out to friends for support, and one of our friends was also our adoption attorney. And in telling him what was going on, the first thing he did was commiserate and offer emotional support. But then that's what any good friend would do. But then he had to put on his attorney's hat and remind us that we were under no legal obligation to complete this adoption. We could cancel it, and the child would be given to the state. Go to an orphanage, or somebody might find another pair of parents to raise her, but we wouldn't have any responsibility. My wife and I looked at each other. This was impossible for us. We knew it instantly, just through our eyesight. What? This is our girl. It doesn't matter whether she came from our bodies or not. She's our daughter. And in that moment, that transformational moment, that's when I really became a dad. That's when I really felt the passion and pride and protectiveness of caring for my own child. This journey of parenthood has many ups and downs, many joys and sorrows. And a big part of it is allowing whatever occurs to occur and then facing it. Parents First is ready to stand by your side as you walk down this path of parenthood. We are committed to you being the best parent that you can possibly be. So it's not always smooth, but if you're willing to be fully present to the experience of parenthood, it is incredibly rewarding. We look forward to working with you. Please click the next video down below, or go to our website at parentsfirst.net and sign up for the journey of new parenthood.